Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Good Pods, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and Stitcher. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. At Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 137. Available now. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram or YouTube itself. What up, world? I just watched Inside Out 2, the sequel to 2015's Inside Out, Pixar's, I want to say, 28th overall theatrical release. Well, technically that's not true because of them COVID joints. Actually, while I'm thinking out loud, all the COVID joints earlier this year was re-released, so 28th overall theatrical release. It stars the voices of Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, Lewis Black. In for Bill Hader is Tony Hale. In for Mindy Kaling is Liza Lapira. Hope I said her name right. Maya Hawke, Ayo Edebiri. Again, hoping I said her name right. Sorry to the French shorty from Blue is the Warmest Color. I'm not even gonna try. Adele something. Paul Walter Hauser. Diane Lane, Kyle MacLachlan. It is directed by Kelsey Mann. In his first directorial effort. The end of the first movie teased the sequel. It's Riley growing up, flooded with all these new emotions, and it's Joy trying to figure out how Riley can grow and mature and still be herself. Arguably, Inside Out is arguably the best Pixar release over the last 10 years. I will give credit to Coco and Soul for having a claim to that title as well. To me, Inside Out is the best Pixar release over the last 10 years, then Coco, then Soul. But they're interchangeable. They're all magic. They're all instant modern day classics. I love them all. I love Inside Out 2. Also, 2. There's no ballerinas in Inside Out 2. It doesn't feel like it's a rehash. To me, the closest thing to a Pixar rehash could be Incredibles 2. I love it. I gave it a 5, but it is just the first movie gender swapped. Still great. I don't care. I don't want to spoil anything. It's just... Okay, there are elements, thinking about it, there are elements of this movie that are similar to the first. But not really. It just... Some characters do similar things. The trailers don't give away so much that you know exactly what's going on. So, it's just like what I said, because I've been doing these reviews for 14 years, and I still have trouble explaining plot without spoiling. This Inside Out is just it's Disney Pixar magic. It's just Amy Poehler was just so perfect as Joy, and then Joy herself feels other emotions, and you see the character of Riley and the decision making, but you know why the decisions are being made even if she doesn't. And the puns, man, I love these puns. So great dialogue, character chemistry. I can't hold you, Liza Lapira, I still heard the same voice. I don't know if she practiced a Mindy Kaling impersonation, but Disgust sounded the exact same in both movies to me. Tony Hale did his own thing. Like, I didn't hear Bill Hader. I didn't hear the same fear. But that's cool. Because I just didn't care. Like, Fear was still funny. Fear was still the same character. Maya Hawke kills it as Anxiety. Ayo Edebiri as Envy. Again, the blue is the warmest color chick. Is kind of like my favorite new emotion. She's just like, the emotion should be called chill, but they do some like ennui because she's French, so the word has to be French. She's just bored. But she's laid back, and then like each emotion gets their time on the big panel, the big board of buttons, and it just leads to like just great humor. Like, I was laughing throughout. I was emotional within the first 10 minutes. And then emotions throughout. Like, this does what you want a Pixar movie to do. Laughs, emotions, dust in my eye, which we all know is code for, like, I was trying not to cry. In my opinion, like, this might be blasphemous. In my opinion, this is Pixar's best sequel ever. This could be new movie goggles right out of the theater goggles. I'm not going to lie to you. But as much as I love Toy Story 2, as I said, Incredibles 2. I enjoy Finding Dory for what it is. Like, let's be honest. We all know Cars 2 is the weakest thing Pixar has ever put out. So, I like, it's... You can have contenders, it just depends on your flavor. I love, like... This movie, the themes, the thematical plot points, is thematical a word? The thematic plot points feel more mature, and they are. Riley is growing up. Riley is hitting puberty. She's going to feel more mature emotions. So decisions are not what they were in the first movie. They can literally make Inside Out movies until Riley is 90 years old. Or what's the last stage of life? Like, retirement? At what age do we develop new emotions? Like, I'm 38 years old. Do I have new emotions I've never felt coming around the corner? But, again, there are, just like the first movie, there are different forms of animation, and it was just blowing my mind to see them all, like, in the same shot, in different scenes. Different types of emotion combining in different scenes was wild to me. Yeah, man, there are kind of like pre-credits, just like the first movie did. There's like pre-credit laughs and stuff. There's a post-credit scene, which I thought was kind of silly. Unnecessary, kind of silly. There's no setup for a third movie. But, as I said, like, a third movie could be so easy to do. Yeah. I loved it. Again, second week in a row that the anticipation was warranted. First time this year, man. With all that being said, I will say that in my opinion, Inside Out 2 was dope as fuck. Have you seen Inside Out 2, man? What you think? Positive, negative, somewhere in between? Let me know. Recently put up reviews for Bad Boys for Life. And a couple weeks before that, the Garfield movie, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Next weekend, I hope my theater gets The Bike Riders. It's like the only wide release next weekend, isn't it? 2 weeks from now, A Quiet Place Day 1. June is really like chipping away at my most anticipated list. And hopefully they all continue to be bangers. So, Rec League Podcast. Most recently, we did spoilers for Bad Boys. Celebrated 40 years of Ghostbusters. Check all of that out, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Find me where you find me. If you don't know where to find me, watch these credits. Peace.